Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a game of Wargame Red Dragon. This is the first of our tournament matches that I announced a couple days ago. In our first tournament matchup, we have Arya on blue 4 here, and on the other, Arya Stark, known as Arya is actually on red 4. That's my fault. And Shiva is actually blue 4, known as Arya Stark on the bracket. I'll put a link to the bracket below, and I'll update that as soon as I get done with this game, which is going to be whenever it pops up on YouTube on your end. So, Arya will be using a Soviet General deck, and Arya Stark will be using a NORAD General deck. So we have two General decks going up against each other on Paddy Field. As you can see here, the points are Conquest, 500 points to win, 40 minutes to do it. That is all that matters in the end. Conquest points all day long. So, we're going to take a look at their starting buys or openers here in just a minute as they start doing that. And just speed it up and have them buy. They'll go ahead and have them buy all their shit. Looks like Arya's buying 2 command helicopters. Oh, I forgot to mention, I'll also have a link to their decks and a screenshot of their decks in the description. So if you want to look at the decks that they're using and kind of just use those as reference, go ahead and do that. Alright, so for Blue 4's opener, again, Arya Stark here, we have 2 command infantry units in Blackhawks. One of them's unloaded because, well, presumably because that's all the CVs that she has, actually. We have an Avenger, 2 Marines, 2 squads of Marines, excuse me. This is actually a new one. I don't think I remember seeing this. Oh, okay, yeah, just a recon Humvee, some comvats, and more Marines, some more comvats, same recon Jeep, and the same anti-air. No tanks. I'm actually surprised by that. Meanwhile, for Arya, it looks around about the same deployment. 2 CVs to go. I'm not sure where. Probably to Alpha and Hotel, and 1 to stay behind in his spawn sector. 2 squads of VDV, a T-72, BRDM-3, 2 more squads of VDV, this time in helicopters, K-52, ATGM team, more VDV, and another T-72. Those are probably going to go to Alpha, and oops, probably going to set up there. I forgot to turn down the time. That's my fault. So right away, Arya Stark's infantry is going to go straight to Foxtrot. That's not a big surprise there. This other one should be unloaded because right now Arya's just getting free points because he doesn't need to worry about his CV being unloaded. If you do look at the deck that Arya has, these are the only CVs that she actually has. These infantry and Blackhawks, that's it. This TACOM, those are the only ones that exist in the entire deck. Arya's infantry and tank is stopped probably not quite where he wanted them to go. They're in the middle of Hotel out in the open, and all of Arya's wheeled forces are getting there very fast. So are Arya's helicopter infantry. That's VDV, if you forgot. They're going to be dropping right into Bravo. This Blackhawk should be getting unloaded. I hope it does soon. BRDM-3's forward in the forest, but it's not going to see anything. It's too deep in there to actually really do much of anything. Same with the Humvee, it's not really seeing much of anything, but it's probably going up to this tree line to get more line of sight on things. Arya already calling in some Afghanskis. Has Arya Stark called in anything? No, it doesn't look like it. This Blackhawk still is not doing anything. So again, these are just free points coming out of Arya. Like, he's getting 3 points per second for free, essentially. And again, this recon just is not well placed. Like, it's not seeing anything. They can only see 300 meters out of the forest, and I'm pretty sure that's more than 300 meters. The VDV are either lonesome over here. There's a K-52 it probably sees things. I'm not quite sure what it actually sees. It sees that Super Cobra, that's for sure. I don't think it sees anything over here. The Conquerors have been unloaded. VDV, have they been unloaded? Yeah, they have, but they're occupying this sector. That's probably where the Conquerors should be going, but because the VDV are taking up that slot, there's nowhere for the Conquerors to go, so they're out in the open. They're not getting that bonus from being in the buildings like that. Another squad of VDV taking up refuge here. Maybe this is where Arya wanted his infantry and tank to go. I'm not sure why he's this far back when he could be taking over Golf. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have any intel that says there's nothing in Golf, but either way, this is where a lot of Red 4 and anyone on this side really sets up on this tree line here, because it's such a strong position. Here we go. First shots have been fired. The BRDM-3 gets a kill on, I think that was a recon Jeep. That was probably what it was, or excuse me, recon Humvee. So that's going to tell Arya that there's something over here. There's definitely something over here, and right now it's just the lone BRDM-3. I'm not sure if she knows that or not. Here we go, another Blackhawk going in. This one still hasn't been unloaded. These are more free points coming in for Error, and these are only going to go in more once he gets... What's this? Command Infantry. Where is this going? Is it going to Bravo? It's probably going to Bravo. Marines are going to be moving up on their own. I'm not sure if Air's helicopter sees that. It might. Again, another Conqueror's vehicle, excuse me, 2 of them coming in for Air. They're going to be going towards Golf. Probably got to back up this T-72. That's interesting. She knew that. She even knows that there's something over here. She knows that there's a recon vehicle over here, but nothing's being moved up to the edge of this forest to combat it. Here we go. The Marines are starting to move, but they're going the wrong way. Their LVTPs, which have these amazing grenade launchers on them, are moving back. Where are they going? Here we go. The TACOM over in Foxtrot has finally been unloaded. Is one Charlie going to be unloaded soon? Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see. Error getting an OSA AKM out. That's going to strengthen his anti-air defense even more. And we're hitting a stalemate here. Nothing else is really happening. Error's just slowly reinforcing his positions. Here we go. Another AKM going out. The MA8 TV that dropped off that command infantry, it's flying away now. And the command infantry are actually going forward into Bravo. But there's not really much here. There's just these VDV. Did they get shot at? How did the VDV get shot up? And by what exactly, I wonder? Here you go. More infantry coming out for Arya, aka Shiva. I keep switching between those names. I should really stop. These are probably going to be Rifleman 90 and M2A2. Yeah, these are definitely Rifleman 90, and they're definitely in M2A2s. And again, we're just in a stalemate here. There's anti-air is still on. If Arya has line of sight on these, or can see them coming out, she probably knows that she can risk sending out a plane to try and take these out, because there's no real other threat to them other than this helicopter with its Iglas, and maybe these BTRDs, but that's if it gets really low. One of these players should really be making a push soon. The pressure is on Arya to be making a push here, because she's losing points hand over fist. And we're still in this stalemate. There should be more positions set up. There should be more recon everywhere. More infantry coming out. These may be deltas. Maybe they're more riflemen. Some howitzer coming out for Arya. What else we got over here? Does there have anything else? No, he's just crowding his helicopters around the fob. Excuse me. I'm not quite sure about this position with the tanks, with the tank and the BRDM-2 team, or excuse me, VTR-2 vehicles. Right now, they're sitting here without any real recon. They can't. The only recon they have is from this helicopter here, but this helicopter can't see everything. It's certainly not going to be able to see anything that's over here because its line of sight might be blocked. Maybe it's too far out. Maybe it's just stealth. Maybe the other guy's just stealthy. You never know. There we go. They're trying to get sneaky with his VDV, but he's going to get shot down by the Avenger. Yeah, that's one's going to VDV gone. Is the other going to meet its fate too, or is it just going to retreat? No, it looks like it's just going to flail wildly. In the meanwhile, Arya has actually called up some anti-air infantry. Probably Stingers. They're going to be coming out soon. Some are going to go here, the other may be going here. We have an F-15C in the air for Arya. Where is this going? It's not going to... It's going out to the helicopter. Alright. I'm not sure if that was worth it. Risking this Eagle, which is what? 170 points off of this F-15 for one single helicopter is not a good trade. especially with this OSA AKM lying around. And I realize that she doesn't have the knowledge that that OSA is there, but still, you have to assume that there is some kind of air defense network in place, especially if you're going to send something like an F-15C out. That's a lot of points to spend on a potential trade with a helicopter. That's barely, what, 15, 20 points? 30-point helicopter. Air taking out his own electronic warfare plane, but it's just not going to do anything in the meantime. There's no radar up for Arya Stark here. The only thing that is in play is this Avenger and this Super Cobra, which actually doesn't even have an air-to-air missile. Here we go, shots being exchanged between the helicopters. The Ka-50 is going to go down for air, not the recon one, but the attack variant. And this infantry here in the forest, it's building up more, but it's not really doing much of anything. The Avenger's going to get moved, fearing counter battery, no doubt. Another Ka-50 coming out for air, going to be set along this force, and the AKM actually did move up. So that's actually providing some level of air cover for him, but nobody's taken this position in Gulf yet. Well, actually I say that. Arya has, because she has recon here, she has infantry here, but she doesn't have the command vehicle to actually cap it and neutralize this income for air. Because right now, air is just making, again, air is making income hand over fist. And unless one of these two monumentally fucks up, rather, if Air monumentally fucks up, and somehow his command infantry dies spectacularly... Oh, hello, there's actually... Now there's 2 paladins out. What was I saying? Right, if Air monumentally fucks up, and his command infantry somehow dies, that's still going to only put the income for both at neutral. No one's going to be gaining anything, but no one's going to be gaining anything. So... like it was a couple minutes ago, the pressure is on Arya to move. She's compelled to move here, but there's no real movement happening. There's massing of forces over here in this forest, but there's just not a lot of them. There's 2 squads of Marines and some Deltas. They can definitely go toe-to-toe with this VDV, but they have to know that they're there first. There's no armor. There's no other helicopters other than this Super Cobra here, which has taken damage and isn't being repaired. There's no other recon other than this recon Humvee. So she's flying blind here. And meanwhile, Air is just building up more and more forces. That his VDV or well, his Conquerors are still out in the open. Shouldn't be. They should be occupying this town here. The VDV should be a block back, but I'm not sure if he quite realizes that the Conquerors team is out in the open. I'm wondering if these paladins are going to start firing soon. And if they are, what are they going to be firing at? Because I'm not sure how much intel Arya really has on these forces, on what Air has in mind. And here we are, Stingers are going to shoot down, or at least try to shoot down Air's recon helicopter, and they actually succeed. So that's 1 recon helicopter down. That's pretty much all of Air's recon down, come to think of it. The BRDM is the only thing that's up. And this is actually fascinating. I haven't seen much, or rather this little lack of recon used by anyone before. And there's a plane out again. It's an F-15 out yet again, but there's nothing for it to really shoot at. Oh no, it's not going to. It is. It's going to shoot at the Akula again. It's going to get shot back at by all the Skrezits in the area, and by the AKMs. Is it going to get shot down? No, it actually makes it out alive. By whatever stroke of luck, I'm really not sure. Now Air's bringing out his Nonas. So he's going to have his artillery now. Does Arya plan on using hers? Have they even? No, they haven't even fired yet. So we have another stalemate. And Air is bringing out yet another, or that SU-24 again, that seed plane, but it's not going to find any targets because there's still nothing that's radar guided on the ground. Arya's Nighthawk's going to come out again. I definitely saw those VDV go into that town in Gulf. Is that where those bombs are going to land? Yep, that's going to be it. But they only get the transports. Very, very well played by him. He moved the infantry themselves over a block. And now there's a Conqueror's team out. There's some Motostrelki out. I'm not sure on that placement of the Conqueror's team. That Conqueror's team could have gone here, and it would have done a lot of work if anything had come out. The Motostrelki would be better served in the sector that the Conqueror's team is in right now. These BMPs, where are they going to go? What's this? Oh, it has cluster bombs. So clusters are going to go out. I think that's one BTRD down. The one BMP really heavily panicked. The other shaken, but not stirred. And now Air has not a recon jeep, a command jeep incoming. Presumably just cap Gulf sector. That's another bombing run by those cluster bombers. That's going to get one BTRD. Well, one that exists in both BMP3, so that's a lot of fire support for Air down. We're still not seeing a whole lot of action going on here. These howitzers, I don't think they've fired yet at all. No, they haven't found any targets. They haven't been given any. Where did Air's mortars go? I don't see them. Oh, there they are. They're in that force here. He's actually moving up his AKM. I'm not sure if I would do that, because he doesn't have much intel on what's actually over here. Because he doesn't see any of this. He doesn't see half of what we're seeing. And even if he did, that AKM is not going to stop a bomber once it gets over here. Because once it does, it's going to drop its payload pretty quick. Especially if that Nighthawk comes out, which it might. Oh, here we are. We have an M1A2 and an M3A2 coming out for Arya. Super heavy tank and recon. That might even the odds up some. But the question is, where are they going? Are they going towards this forest here? If they are, then we'll start seeing an actual assault here going on here in a minute, because there's definitely enough forces here to make an assault viable if those forces can get there. If that tank and that recon can get there in time. Because with that, and the infantry here, and the transports, and the combat, that's more than enough to take down anything in that sector. That'll be enough to take down the BRDM. That'll be enough to take down the VDV in short order. The VDV are not pushovers, but put them up against Marines and Deltas. That's just not a recipe for success. Speaking of which, there's a Buratino in play for Air. I'm not sure what's exactly going to happen there, because there's nothing really in place for an assault. Is this just to panic defenses and maybe a feint somewhere? And speaking of which, the VDV over here have actually loaded up again. So they may be moving out soon. Where are they going to go, I wonder? Two more Hornet runs coming out. I'm not sure where those bombs are being dropped. They're being dropped right in front of the forest, so maybe they'll get the PRDM, maybe not. It doesn't look like they will. No, they won't. They'll stun the VDV, but they're not going to actually damage them, being cluster bombs used against infantry. And we have some smoke coming out. Is this from this is from those paladins? That's not necessarily good use of the paladins. I would not be using the paladins for smoking like this. I would use them more for hammering whatever positions that you could suspect there are. Definitely at least fire those paladins off into the forest for this VDV. Arya needs to get moving soon if she wants to turn this around, or at least get some points on the board. The Marines are moving up. Here we go. But there's more VDV incoming. Where's the tank? The tank is back all the way back here. It should... Why is it this far back? Why is the recon this far back? Neither of them are seeing anything. They can't support this fight. The LVTPs are coming too, but they're going to be too late. They're not going to be there to support the fight. By the time they get there, the Marines might be stunned, especially with this autocannon in the way. And here we go. The combat's getting shot up by BRDM, but they're going to trade with each other. LATB's going to start shooting at the VDV with the M3 also not far behind. We have more mortar fire coming in from air, coming in randomly on this sector, but it's not going to find any targets. The Toss Buratino's going to also fire. It's going in on the Marines. It's going to wreck everything in that forest. There we go. All those Marines, everything in there are either on fire or quickly wishing they were. Meanwhile, this assault is actually gaining some ground. I'm not sure where'd the tank go. Did the tank get destroyed? It may have. The tank and the recon both seem to have been destroyed. But either way, it's gaining ground. The VDV are going to get wiped here, surely. Or maybe not. The Deltas are going to get wiped by the VDV. 4 squads will do that to you. Are the VDV going to get countered by the Marines? They may with these transports in play. Here we go. They're all starting to fire now. We're all getting our shots in. VDV 90 going down, just getting their shit kicked in. But now they lost target. There's only 1 squad left. The rest of the Marines can't see them. We have some more air combat coming in here. One thing going down, didn't quite see what that was. An SC-24 in the area. It may get shot down. Yep, that gets shot down too. So that's 2 more kills for Arya. Her recon is down and hurt, but that doesn't really matter at this point. The real question is, can Arya get the infantry and the forces that she has here moved up to this command vehicle? Because I don't think she knows that it's here. I'm not sure if she knows exactly what kind of command vehicles in this sector. We have bombs coming in from the Nighthawk that might wipe out this VDV. It wipes out 1 squad, it stuns the other. But if this infantry isn't moving, if it's not moving towards the end of the sector, then all of this preparation, all of these points have been for basically nothing. And with not much left to go, I don't think it's going to end well. Not for Arya, at least. The Conquerors are going to find something, maybe not. They got a glimpse of this Humvee for a second. They're seeing the LETPs. 1 goes down. The Nonas are also moving. No, that's a new group of Nonas, actually. Excuse me. Air's mortars are firing up again. They're going back to that forest. They know something's there. They have to know. They're hammering that end of the forest here because it's just such a good spot for recon. There we go. That's the end of the game, actually. So with 500 to nothing, then that's the first win of the tournament to Air, actually, and they'll give him a 1-0 record. Obviously, it was an interesting game, to be sure. There were a lot of things that could have been done better, but I'll put both of them 1-0 and 0-1 respectively. And even though Arya did do a lot more in terms of kills, those kills couldn't be acted on, and I think that's what cost the game more than anything. Just not being able to capitalize on the attacks that were made, losses that Air sustained, because in the end they didn't matter because Air was just getting more and more points every so often. So, with that done, actually one of the other games is in progress right now. I can't cast that right now, but I will the minute that it's done. So, tune in for the next one. It's going to be Fick, I think is how you say it. I'm not quite sure on it totally, versus Joe. That'll be cast next time, and the bracket, like I said, is going to be below. The deck codes are going to be below. Screenshots to the decks if you want to take a look at them and kind of track what each player has while they're playing is going to be below as well. Link to the bracket's going to be below. If you thought this video was good, like and subscribe. Really helps out. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time.